Good afternoon, guys. StayWeird1993 here, or of course, if you know me off YouTube, it's StayWeird1993 Vlogs. Welcome back. So what we're doing is, if you remember yesterday, we started our rep grind for the Lightforged Draenei. So we got a bunch of these quests. We're going to target the ones that have only got a little time left. Just checking our quests now. So we'll drop into Macari first. I really want to get the Lightforged Draenei because I would love to make a Lightforged Draenei Paladin and a Lightforged Unholy Death Knight.
Macari has awoken more angry spirits. Help them find peace. I don't have a target. The Ebon Blade stands together.
Thank you, Kotsura Deathweaver.
The Ebon Blade stands together.
Just jumping straight into the action here. Just having a look at something here. What I'm hoping we can do is get the Lightforged Draenei unlocked very soon before I have to start working from home. I'd like to make some more characters, you see. But I really want a Lightforged.
Behind.
I half expected him to say when we leave this shithole.
Find their rest.
We're just going to go and complete all the dailies because we can still do Argosian Reach.
Light and shadow are both means to an end. For the foe before you, feel free to pick whatever weapon. You have chosen your will as
Take the Orgonite because we need that. Oh no, we don't. Basically, what we're doing here is spamming the hell out of these world quests because I would like to unlock the Lightforged. And it's an excuse for me to dust off my old Death Knight, I guess, but I don't really... This isn't the Death Knight I main. My main is a Maghar Orc Death Knight. This is my old Death Knight. Like, I think I abandoned this mid-BFA. So we're effectively rep grinding, but you know. There's a treasure chest around here. Ah, so we have to be wielding the power of the something that we don't have.
I'm right by your side.
Thanks, Koitira. You keep reminding me that you're here. Now, the Lightforged, I suppose you could say, are hazardous creatures. But then, I don't know. I like the idea because you've got... I think it's a really interesting concept. The Lightforged Draenei are Draenei who've undergone additional training and additional... you know, they've become something more than Eridar. They've become much more... They become much more powerful, and you know, the Lightforged Draenei are, lore-wise at least, quite interesting. People say, oh, well, they were just sort of thrown in there. It's like, nah, I like it, because it gives you some further context from, like, what happened to the Draenei who didn't come with Velen to Azeroth. What about the ones who stayed on Argus, you know, or the ones who went to fight in the Great Dark?
Come at once.
Sithon the Lost. He's a snack boy. Oh no, he's a big...
Be praised. I am free.
Come on, minion.
No matter how many monstrosities they send at us, we will cut them down.
Cheers, Illadaddy. So I'm saying we go this way next. We just clear all the quests on all the continents, and we'll get our army of the light really soon. We just need to be... I just want to get exalted. Because I want my light forged. I want my big lighty boy.
This place is churning out darkness, manifesting into crystals of pure void. The Shadow God covets this resource. We must claim it before they do.
I really want to have a light forged. I think a Draenei Paladin would be really cool. But I want a light forged Paladin. I don't want a standard Draenei Paladin. I really want to play light forged. It's like the most... What's the most Paladin you can Paladin? A light forged Draenei. There's so much Paladin, instructions unclear became Paladin.
I'm out of range.
I know there's a alliance here, but I'm just like, leave me alone, I'm doing my dailies. Let me do my thing, please. We need that crystal. We don't need many more.
The Ebon Blade stands together.
I mean, the worst that could happen here is we get some rep towards Void Elves. You know, like... if we don't get our rep for the Light Forge, but I'm sure we do. I'm sure even the Argusian Reach stuff gives both. I just didn't know that yesterday. Otherwise, I'd have done them all again.
That is one less arrow in their quiver.
So that was just
Perhaps I
Argusian
can find a
Reach.
use for these crystals that will benefit our cause.
I say we go up to that elite quest. I think it has to be an elite quest.
The formidable creatures here are prey worthy of any hunter. Yet the Shadow God seeks to empower them further with the Void. Stop the ethereals and release these beasts back into the wilds.
Test subjects. To be fair, it might be that might be a good shout if we do Void Elves as well. Make a Void Elf Death Knight. Real edgy boys. So how edgy are you? Isaac King's the Void. Undead. Ugh. It's like, just go on an RP server, make a Void Elf Death Knight and just spend the whole time crying. It's like, and where's that character that Aaron made? Oh, he's just crying in the corner again. Saying something about how nobody understands him and no one could ever be as dark and brooding as him and his soul is blackened. I've got the maximum amount of Veiled Orgonite possible, I just realised this. This is... oh, release a test subject. I mean, we might as well do it.
The Dark Ones demand your end.
I'd still love to be able to play as an Ethereal. And make an Ethereal Mage, that'd be cool. Ethereal Shadow Priest. I mean, the worst that could happen here is we'll just get Argusian Reach, but we're still getting more rep. And we've only wasted like 2 minutes if we need to. It's just Argusian Reach, but that's fine.
But our struggle against the Shadow God continues.
I believe that the ones that give you both are the elite quests. Just a second. I'm just tracking which ones actually give me Army of the Light rep. I have like a handy guide. Just because there are certain quests that we'll be wasting our time doing. How the hell do I get over there then? It's gotta be a way round. I'm dying, never mind. Let's get out of here. My fault for trying to take shortcuts, I guess. Am I stuck in here? Nah, there's gotta be a way out. I know. Improvise, adapt, overcome. I'm literally using this Warframe just as a movement speed boost right now. Okie dokie. So it's this one and this one that I can get rep from in this area. Come on, man. Come on, man. What do you mean I can't make that jump? Come on. That's stupid. Oh well. The way they made this zone was really interesting. Like, the way it's laid out. There's just traps everywhere. Like, you could fall to your death here so easily. Yeah, so if I go through... Yeah, so Makari, there's this one here and this one here. I love that skybox, man. Look at how gorgeous that is. The skybox. I mean, this makes me wonder what could have been if they did
The Legion's forces occupy the estates of Makari. Activate the nobles' vigilance to help with the battle.
The vigilance.
No doubt their power crystals have been stolen by the Eredar.
If Velen's telling me to do it, then I imagine... Vigilant Power Crystal says the Eredar I need to kill. If Velen's telling me to do it, it's definitely Army of the Light. Or it should be. It may not grant me Army of the Light rep, but we'll see. It won't take us long anyway. Oh, crap. We need more Eredar, these guys. Well, the Drudges, but they're still technically Eredar, I guess. They are broken after all. Got a new vape today as well. My Wismec R80 came in the post. Super nice. I was never a fan of pod vapes, but this I like.
serve as an excellent distraction. My thanks.
I mean, it must be hard for the Draenei and Velen. Hey, Lord Arbiter, how's it going, man? I imagine that lore-wise, I love the story of this game, and I love what's happening with Velen here. Like, this must be so hard for the Draenei and the Velen to come back here. And it's like, it must be so hard for them to come back here and see what's become of their home. Because this is where they live. A lot of them would have grown up here. A lot of the Draenei were like, this was their, this was their home.
Patrol has spotted a powerful foe in this area. Its downfall would set back the Legion's presence here.
Good, good. As it's payday, I've ordered some beer. So...
The Legion cannot stand against the power of the light. Not when it has champions like you.
See, being a Light's champion is great. The only problem is that the Light has questionable ins and outs. But then that's the thing. It's like, I don't even think that the most devout of the Light would just blindly follow. So I like to think lore-wise, like, even the Light Forged might be like, you know, about certain things. Like, for example, Undeath is seen as horrific to the Light. So, if a Light Forged Draenei were to come across a Kalia Menethil, who was resurrected by the Light, but she's undead, does that mean that they would hate her? Or does that mean that they would be afraid of her? I'd like to think they'd be afraid of her, just for the flavor text of that, like just how that would feel. Because I'd imagine that they'd fear her because they hate anything undead, but she's undead and brought back by the Light, which is unnatural, according to the Light Forged at least. Three head. Sam found 96. Okay.
Gather your allies, champion.
So it's Vigilant Kuro got to kill here.
And heroes are needed.
Adjust the camera here. So I'm hoping that we can just grind out the rep, because the only reason I've done my quest, I've done it earlier today, is I wanted to spend the afternoon doing stuff with the kids anyway, because you know my daughters, I'm spending the time with them too. Oh, and Lord Arbiter, how's the streaming going? Good? Nice, nice. And hit... I kind of wish I'd leveled this character to max, but just because it's got a good Army of the Light rep, I might as well grind it out on this character, because otherwise I'm doubling back on the amount of effort I need to put in to get the Light Forged.
Target down reminds me of myself in my younger days. My much, much younger days.
Just a second. I may stream again today, don't know yet, you might do tomorrow. Hey, well, whatever works for you, man. You know what I mean? It's like you're not on a tight schedule exactly. And then I suppose I could do the invasion point here. But then have I got anything else that could be done? How long has this got left? 13 hours, 19 hours, 19 hours, 19 hours. 19, 7, 7, 7, 13. Okay. So we will do the invasion point. We got time. Get you a UI mod. I will get a UI mod, definitely. I just haven't found a UI that I like yet. I didn't like Elv UI very much when I tried to use it, so... But I'll try it. I'll definitely get it configured. I just need to spend some time sorting it out.
This world holds a power that the Legion must not possess. Prevent them from claiming it.
Oh, this is the one with those infernals where it's a massive pain in the ass. We'll deal with these later because I'll do this with a group. The thing is, with this being a 115 and not max level, there's certain content I definitely can't solo. I mean, I can solo it, but it's going to take me an age. So I'm going to go do my other world quests for now, and we'll just do the invasion points, because that's not on a timer. The invasion points aren't on the timer anyway. Because I've just got... That's not got a time remaining. That's just telling me I've got to do them. So we're going to go to... Oh, yeah, well, we can't right now. But when we... Come on, fight me then. No? We'll go Crocun next.
I'm right by your side. Warframe deployed.
Warframe deployed. Wait, that's illegal. This is World of Warcraft. I also need to get my second monitor set up, but it hasn't arrived yet. You know when you order something and you expect it to arrive a lot sooner than it does, and you're just like... Okay, so this is a quest here for... Astral Glory. Where the hell do I get Astral Glory from?
We fight, we survive.
Supplies needed at Astral Glory. I imagine that's Profession quest. Oh, you're going to be playing MWO if you do it? Cool, man. Well, as I say, if that's what you enjoy playing, then stream that. Like, it doesn't matter what's popular. Just stream what you enjoy playing. A herb quest, you noob. Okay, fair enough. I'd say I'm blacksmithing and jewel crafting on this character, so... Well, I'm mining and jewel crafting, so...
Maiden attempts to fashion an army of fiends right under our noses. She must not succeed.
Too much time in this expansion. Oh yeah, because you were like proper... I remember seeing you were always in like... You were always in thingy, the... You were always in Antorus. Always in Antorus whenever I saw you online. And I wasn't even really online. I'd have Battle.net open, but I wasn't playing. And I'd be like, he's in Antorus again.
They're not without punishment. Sargeras does not take kindly to failure.
So the next one... That's a battle pet one. I don't have battle pets. So, holding the spire next. Oh, you do have all the. So you have all these things. The thing is, with the rep boost, whole thing, and we were like server top 20. That's awesome, man. I'm hoping that by the time Shadowlands comes out, that's where I want to get back to, because back during sort of Wrath and Kata, that's what I was doing, like the cutting edge stuff, and then I just tapered off after that. Pandaria, even to an extent, we never quite finished Siege though. And I missed that, but the thing is, I didn't have a very reliable guild, and what I want to do is, I mean, as much as it pains me to play Alliance, I have a couple of friends who've got back into the game who are Alliance players, and I want a Lightforged Draenei just because I like the Draenei. Yeah, try display capture, man, on that one. If it's not going to work, then just try display capture.
Legion portals have opened near Mathrax's spire to reclaim it. Use one of our warframes to see that their effort failed.
Ah, the guild died, son. You see, I never joined a guild for any of that. That's probably where I went wrong. I really want... I mean, I play Alliance and Horde. I've got max level on both. But what I want to do is, I want to make a Lightforged. I've got my Magha. Okay. And I want to... there's a lot I want to do... there's a lot more I want to do with this game, especially at Filthy Turncoat. Fair enough. That's a fair comment, man. The thing is, as much as I love playing Horde, a lot of my friends that I play with in real life, I mean, I think you, and with the exception of one other of my Warcraft friends that I actually know in real life, they all play Alliance. So there's 2 Alliance, and like, there's about 4 Alliance and like 2 Horde. And I've just, and it's just one of those things where I don't mind having both. It doesn't bother me as much. Time to flame grill some demons, huh? So, gotta close the rifts. I think the thing is, like, what the reason I was thinking about with the Alliance especially is that I want to possibly look at see if my old guild that I used to play with back when I started on the Alliance, because my friend who I played with at the time when I first started WoW, he insisted I make an Alliance character. But the guild I played with back then was like really, really active and like a bunch of really cool people. And I don't know if they still exist or not. Maybe not, but it'd be really nice if they do, because I'll just go back to my old server and try and find them. That was a plan. You see, with me, it's not so much about progression. I just want a really good community. I'm not too upset about... we died. Never mind. It's not, for me, it's not so much about progression when I'm, well, starting. Guild was pretty toxic. You see, I don't want toxic. I want a decent community of players. Like, I want to build, like, a friendship, I guess you could say. But the thing is, like, that's what I miss about what I used to be in. So when I was back on Azure Mist EU, when I did start playing Alliance, the server was pretty quiet, to be honest. And because of that, the fact I'd found a really good guild called the Blackland Skirmishers, I loved that guild so much, and like I was friends, and I got to know some of them like really well, like, you know, like in terms of like first name basis. We'd always have a ventrilo open.
Such power. These fiends must learn that we will not be defeated so easily.
And I miss those guys, but I don't know if any of them still play, or if, I mean, I know some of them were like, I mean, towards the end, I mean, we're talking, when did I leave Azure Mist properly? Pandaria. Around mid-Pandaria, so we're talking Throne of Thunder ish. The guild, there was a bit of a rift driven, because there was, I remember two of the officers, a guy called Migster and someone called Muv. They were both, they're a married couple, and they fell out with some of the other officers. And Pilfer was the guy called Pilfer was the guy who owned the guild. And Pilfer was really upset about this because they'd all come across from Lord of the Rings online, and that's when they formed the guild. And they'd all been friends for like going on 7 or 8 years by this point, if not more. And then there was a massive fallout due to raiding, because what it was that we had assigned raid teams like most guilds do. So we had Team 1, Team 2, you know, things like that. And Mig and Muv were... Well, Mig was the organizer for Team 1, Muv was Team 2. Now, what happened was they started doing their own private runs with their buddies instead of doing the progression runs with the guild. And somebody questioned them. They weren't, like, horrible. They were like, hey, what gives, guys? You know, we're progressing through this as a guild. This was... God, this probably was Throne of Thunder, actually. And it was a case of, like, it wasn't a big deal, and it was never meant to be a big deal. They literally just were like, why are we not doing the thing, guys? You know? Like, they just wanted to know if there was a reason they didn't want to do it with the guild anymore, or did they think that the guild wasn't progressing fast enough, you know? Genuine questions. Genuine, fair questions. What happened is that they took it really offensively, and they got really mad.
The dread lord that once served me in the Black Temple has cast his lot with the Legion.
And then they left, and they took about... I'd say half of Team 2 and all of Team 1 went with them, basically. Because they were like, well, we're friends with these guys, but then it tore apart some very old friendships. And it was quite sad. And then one of my close friends, Callum, who I used to play a lot of WoW with, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he still plays or anything. I've not seen him in years. I've not spoke to him in years. But him and his dad were like in the middle as well, because they'd been part of the guild for ages. And it was really sad. I remember that guild falling apart, but it was still there, and there was still loads of members that I was really good friends with that still were in the guild. But I don't know if it ever got disbanded or what, because during that entire thing is when I pieced out. I was like, I don't want to do this, guys. If this is how we're going to be as a guild, I don't want to do this. You know, and that's the thing, the officers were in a relationship, but the guy who owned the guild wasn't in a relationship, he just knew them, like, in real life. And apparently, the rift that was caused in-game caused a real-life rift. I'm like, guys, you're falling out over World of Warcraft. But, you know, it was kind of sad, actually, because it was such a good guild, such a good community, and it was such a tightly knit community as well, that it was really disappointing, actually, to see them fall apart so easily just because they didn't agree with one another about everything. And I just thought, come on, guys, you know what I mean? And I was one of the guys who tried to sort of be a peacemaker, and I was kind of just told to shut up, basically, because I was trying to stop them from, like, killing each other. And all I said to them was, guys, this argument is not good for the guild. The guild's gonna suffer as a result of this. You need to do something about it. And then I got told that I was the problem because I said, please stop arguing. If you've got a personal issue, take it outside the game because it's making other people uncomfortable. That's all I said, basically. It's like, stop making guild politics real life politics and please stop arguing. Also, dude, Cable, since you're in here, have you got any recommendations for decent LVUI stuff? Because I've not set up LVUI, I keep meaning to, and I got... Let's see, so... What the hell? So, mining regulate... Okay, so... Am I gonna die here? I should have gone blood. I should have gone blood. I'm not in combat. Oh. What's attacking me? Huh? Big ass presets people offer on website called Wago. I'll have a look. Because I'd like a decent custom UI. And I don't mind tweaking stuff. Yeah, we're gonna go blood because I like the self-preservation. So what's this? Stop the Legion mining effort. Kill this guy. Okay. So we'll go kill that guy first. Varga? Varga? See, I never leveled this character high up. Because I think the reason I stopped is because I unlocked Mag'har and wanted a Mag'har Death Knight. I'm going to be honest. Because I could play Shattered Hand and Blackrock. And I'm like, well, hell yeah. We got some demon boys. Looks like we've got a lot of people waiting for Varga here. We got a spiky boy, we got a demon boy, we got a hunter boy. There's the bastard.
That's too far. You fight like you've been crusading against the Legion for 1,000
You fight like you've out-leveled this zone. Get on my level, Terralion, Jesus. I mean, I'm looking forward to having a look at what Shadowlands has had to offer so far. The customization especially looks interesting to me because certain people are bothered about customization, some are not. That's the honest thing. And for me, I like my character to feel personal. So I'm looking forward to the amount of to the customization upgrades they're adding. I want to see more for the Blood Elves because that looks interesting. The undead customizations look ridiculous. As in the hairstyles we've got the Misfits hairstyle. I'm like, yeah. My when I make my undead, that's definitely what I'm rocking on that one. But also they've got the long hair now, which is nice. I also like the fact you can be boneless. Like, personally, I'm probably not going to make a boneless undead, to be honest. Because I like the undead to look undead. But I'd like an upright option, to be honest. Something like what Nathanos offers us. But then Nathanos is like a one-off character-wise, I suppose. And he is a self-insert for one of the devs, I guess. But, you know... spends the whole time ooh-wooing at Sylvanas just to get simped because because the jailer's now a thing. But honestly, I mean, there's a lot of people have got legitimate concerns about the Shadowlands, which is fair play. For me, I'm excited to see what it offers.
All will bow before the destroyer.
Not sold, sadly. Plus, I think Blizz have kind of burnt a lot of bridges. I guess the whole Blizzchung thing and stuff. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. There's a lot of other things as well, but yeah, I'm just interested. I want to see. I mean, I've been loyal to this game for a long time, and I personally just want to see where this goes. Like, if it's not good, I'm not going to play it, but, you know, I've enjoyed BFA so far, maybe, I don't know, but that's probably because I've not been cutting edge. I've been a casual player, so I've come into this not doing what I normally do, which is raiding. I'm not doing what I typically do, which is trying to do, well, what I used to do when I was like much more into the game and had much more free time. In which case, what I used to do then was it would be cutting edge, it would be raiding, and I don't think it's offered enough to those players who want that. And that's what I think BFA didn't do right. I think, well, of course they missed the mark on a few things, Azerite gear being one of them. But if I'm totally honest, I'm excited for Torghast. A different way to play the game. I'm excited for... Maybe it's the aesthetics of the game as well, because I love the whole... the mechanics of death, the afterlife. I love what it's offering in terms of story potential, should I say. The biggest problem was the removal of the artifact weapon skills not being replaced with anything. Yeah, I mean, there was a massive power vacuum that left in the game. You felt like... I mean, yeah, sure, Paladins got Wake of Ashes as a talent, and Breath of... And you know, some of them were put into talent trees, but I'm like, why didn't you just... If people have had those as artifact traits, bake them into the spec. You know, give the specs the ability that you've given to them for a whole expansion and then taken away. But then again, I want to see what the unpruning has to offer, especially for my warriors. I mean, I know you play warrior too, and you've played warrior for a longer time than me.
One of our scouting parties has gone missing. Legion may have them pinned down.
But what I'm hoping is that I want to see what I want to see what the unpruning does. Am I going to have more buttons? Am I going to have a decent amount of buttons? Or is it going to be like, oh, this is cool, I got like 2 spells back. You know what I mean? I like the idea as well of, for me, if I had a choice for something I'd like to have on Warriors, I'd like Gladiator back. I really enjoyed playing Gladiator in Legion. Not in Legion, there, Warlords. It'd be hard playing it in Legion. But the Gladiator stands for Prot Warriors. I love the Gladiator. That was so much fun. And also the confusion, though. I jump into LFD and someone's like, what the hell, your protection? I'm like, I'm playing Gladiator, just trust me. And I love that. I also think that Single-Minded Fury needs to come back. I think that also the ability to... and also the ability to have, you know, the sort of two single-handed weapons as well. I mean, they've brought back a two-handed Frost, which I'm happy about. Takes effort to work up to that point, stay geared. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of effort that goes into this gearing, I suppose. And it is a problem. With Antorus, though, it looks interesting. Like, the way that they're doing it, with it being a, kind of inspired by the roguelike games that have done basically the whole raiding thing, but done it better than they have. Oh my god, I've never heard that dialogue. Climb inside my mouth. It's like me with pizza. But it's, why do these things sound like Marge Simpson on crack? But it's like, I really want to see... There's a lot I want to see in this game, and I'm trying not to hold too... I don't want to have massive expectations of an expansion which is only in alpha. Again, alpha is alpha, and I hate to say that, but alpha in alpha, you know? With alpha being alpha... I mean, we get a good representation of what the finished product will look like, but as Blizzard said, there's some stuff that they are literally just throwing at the wall and seeing what sticks at the moment. Like, a lot of the specs or tweaks or perks and abilities that are being added throughout Torghast and stuff like that. So, I mean, it is borrowed power, I guess, but also, like, they are Torghast abilities. I also want to see what the Crafted Legendary system is going to look like. The Crafted Legendary system looks interesting, to say the least. We haven't seen anything of it, but what they're talking about is you pick your parts for and craft your own Legendary. And I think that could be good, especially if they make it feel rewarding. Chief Alchemist.
Another Legion insect has scurried forth from beneath its rock. Demonstrate
Giant Saints Row dildo bat? Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if I could dual wield that on my Fury Warrior. In PvP. Dual wield it on PvP. Talk about dicking down on everybody else. Like, I was... well, that's the thing. I don't know whether because I know some of it will be armor, some of it will be weapons, maybe. What I'd like to see is if they're offering customization. If they're offering customization of a legendary, I'd like to be able to pick what it looks like too. Or maybe even the ability, a bit like artifacts, where you can collect appearances like as a cosmetic reward, and so that once you've crafted your item, you can retroactively, if you unlock a new appearance, apply it. That'd be cool. Or if based on how you make it, what it is, and the context, it's not just like a randomized appearance. It's like, okay, so you added a component from Revendreth, well, it's going to have blood magic on it. Or you added something from the Maw, then it's going to have those kind of ashen runes all over it. Something like that would be cool. Or if you make it from things you find in Ardenweald, it's heavily nature-focused. I think that would be really interesting. I'd like to see thematic legendary crafting. I'd like to see... I want to see what it offers.
And deadly traps slow our advance. Deal with these impediments.
Like, I want it to be like artifact weapons, but on crack. Like, as in terms of, you're not dependent on it, but you can craft. You can craft something that feels powerful. It's specific to you, and it's not. You're not in. But then I suppose the only problem is with optimization, you're going to have best in slot. You're always going to have best in slot. So you're always going to be like, oh, you customized your helmet to give you this perk. Why didn't you do it for this one? It's like, well, you can't get rid of that in a game where you're going to have theory crafting, you're going to have sims, you're going to have people, you know, simming for the best ability. Of course you are. But, you know, it doesn't mean that you can, it doesn't mean there's no room for optimization and picking what you want. It just means that there might be wiggle room in terms of when you get to endgame, if you don't pick this, then you ain't going to be doing the highest DPS, or... But then it's whether there's a worthy sacrifice. So, a good example of that. Maybe you, as a tank, could optimize something that gives you better AoE damage, but the best in slot actually gives you a higher stamina buff, or a higher resistance to something. Invasion onslaught? What's this? Invasion point's cleared. There's not an invasion point here. It's down here. I'm not going crazy. I know where I'm going. Fire, Frost, or Arcane Mage. Problem is sometimes there's not much of a choice. No, exactly, man. Prime example is one of the things that I was doing on here. One of my leveling streams, like one of my first ones, I did a Hunter because I'd wanted to play Hunter. And then I did a Mage. And I was doing Fire Mage. But the amount of times that when I was doing Fire Mage, somebody in a group was like, why aren't you Frost or Arcane? I'm like, because I want to play Fire Mage. And they're like, yeah, but they're better. I'm like, I want to play this spec. I should be able to play this spec.
This frozen world holds dangers. Ensure the Legion cannot claim it.
Like, to me, it doesn't matter, like, what the optimized spec is. I should be able to play whatever damn well spec if I want. If I want to raid on a survival hunter, I should be able to do that. If I want to raid on a Blood Death Knight, I should be able to do that. If I want to play a two-handed Frost Death Knight, and I want to go full ham on it, you know, it shouldn't matter. Most good players can make it work, but some classes don't want to let it work. Yeah, exactly, and this is the problem. I suppose it's the whole bring the player, not the class mentality, but I think there should be a place in every raid or a reason, should I say, that you would bring any spec, any class. There should be a reason you would bring, like, there should be an exclusive reason, like, oh, we really want to bring this. Well, Survival Hunter, yeah, exactly. This is what I mean, like, the idea was cool, but execution, like, unless you were a god, you had to, like, master everything. It's like, there were some specs in some classes that were, like, face roll, and there was some where you'd be like, ah, shit, you know? There'd be some way you really, really want to play a certain spec, and then you can't. Arms Warrior and Legion, but ended up having to go Fury because Arms... Yeah, exactly. Like, I really like... I like the idea of Arms Warrior, but then I ended up playing Fury myself. Even in BFA. But I wanted to play... But I'm Protection now, for example, on my Warrior. The one I leveled up. A Maghar Warrior. But, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird state of affairs, and like the idea of Arms is really fun, but then it's like, are you gonna be able to compete with Fury, or vice versa? What if Arms was the best and I wanted to play Fury? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there should be an end game opportunity. It should be not an even... Okay, even playing field is the wrong word, because every class should have its advantages and disadvantages, right? But at the same time, I don't feel that you should be penalized for wanting to play a certain spec in any game or anything. So say I didn't want to play Outlaw Rogue, what if I wanted to play Assassination, you know? What if I wanted to play Elishaman? You know, these are the things where you should be allowed to play the spec you want to play.
Now's your chance. Finish this fight.
Yeah, pushing will first, that's when you're going to run into problems. But then I think that's the thing. Most guilds will. The problem you've got with that is that, as I say, it's like, it's whether there's a negative stigma attached to your spec and class. You know, like, oh, you play this, why would we bring you, kind of thing. I mean, you don't get a lot of elitism like that in most guilds, to be perfectly honest, but at the same time, you could. And there's an argument to be had for optimizing for best spec is always good, but then also, like, for me, I'd rather play a spec I know does less damage that I enjoy playing than doing the one that's optimized best for raiding. But I'd much rather just play what I enjoy the fantasy of.
You've driven them back.
Like a Fire Mage, like a, you know, an Unholy Death Knight, or a Blood Death Knight. I like both. I want to play Protection Paladin again, but I'm just bored of the races, and I want Lightforged. I want a Lightforged Protection Paladin.
Well done, champions. News of this victory will spread throughout the dark beyond.
It's like, yeah, picky, I know, but, for me, again, main Forsaken Warrior 15 years, don't hear me complaining. That's a fair point. I mean, the first character that I really, like, no-lifed was a Protection Paladin that was a Draenei. And as a result of that, I think I just want the Lightforged upgrade. Yeah, the Werebear's cool. I was like, holy crap, is that a bear or a gorilla? Or somewhere in between. Haram bear? Yes, I did just say Haram bear. I'm not sorry. Dicks out regardless of whatever it was. Yeah, exactly, man. It was cool. I mean, I never played Druid because I never found that element of gameplay enjoyable. Personally. Doesn't mean it's bad. I just didn't enjoy it myself. And that's Argustian Reach, but I've got a feeling that, you know, we might be able to get some rep out of this. Hang on. Most of the Augustian... Because I just did a bunch of Argustian Reach ones that still give me Army of the Light rep, so I'm going to go do this one. We're not far off, because we are revered now. We've got about 9,000 rep to go. So when the quests reset later on, we should be okay. Screw you, Garothi.
Subject them to heinous rituals. We will no longer be haunted. Help us bring the fight to the Legion.
I did really enjoy Argus. Like, lore-wise. Again, maybe not specifically the gameplay. What? It says it's here. Here we go. Like, I just like the lore of Argus. I just wish there was more of it. Yeah, Artifact Power Farm, it didn't feel good. That was my problem. It just didn't feel good. Yeah, well, AP, it's the same thing, really. The thing is with... It just didn't feel good to me. Like, playing it, it just didn't feel good. Like, farming that power, I'm glad I took a break. Because now I've come back to it with fresh eyes, and there's stuff I want to do in this game. And the stuff I want to do, stuff I want to level, that's probably going to take me through until Shadowlands. Like, I want to get good with Protection Paladin again. But I want to make a Lightforge one, so I want to level it. I suppose. Which raid was that? Was it Antorus, or was it one of the BFA raids? Oh, oh, the one for Gahoon, yeah, Uldir. Antorus was fun, yeah. Antorus, I mean, I did Antorus on LFR. I didn't do it on anything major because, again, I wasn't playing much at the time. I was having some serious life issues at the time. So I just had to LFR mode it. I was having problems in my personal life, so I didn't have much time to play the game. Which is why I think it's nice to come back and do this. Like, I'm enjoying this now because I didn't grind it during Legion.
Let them feel your fury.
Pew, pew, pew. What can I do with this Veiled Organite? That's a really noob question, but Veiled Organite, I've got loads of it. Is there anything I can actually do with it? I've got 2,000 pieces. Like, I wasn't around during that period. That was when things were a bit sketchy on the job front. Me and Sarah had separated. I was living with my grandparents, caring for my grandpa, so didn't have much time. So it was a difficult time. So now I'm coming back to the game with a pair of, again, fresh eyes, and I've got objectives that I actually want to... Trader aboard the Vindicar you can buy shit from. Okay, cool. Can you buy rep tokens from him? Do you know?
The lives and souls of my people are safer, thanks to you.
So what we'll do is we'll finish our invasion points on this stream, and then we'll come back later when the quests have reset. Gear catch-up, sells relinquished gear, weapon relics. Damn. Maybe they should have added that. Like, you know, if you're coming back to grind the content, why can't you just buy rep tokens? But then again, that's just me going, make me things easier for me. It's like, you know, I'm against the idea of spoon-feeding players, despite the fact that might be a mentality that's shared now. It's sad, but, you know, sometimes spoon-feeding players is the wrong thing to do. I like it where there's a challenge to it. Like, I want to have to work for things. Probably, yeah. Because by then, if you haven't... I mean, no, they're going to remove the allied... Ignore me. They're going to remove the rep requirements for allied races when Shadowlands comes out. At some point this year. Which is why I'm grinding out the rep. Because I don't want to wait until November to make a Lightforged Paladin. I want to be able to go into Shadowlands with it. I mean, the plus side is I'll be able to make my Edge Elf, Void Elf, by then, maybe. I want to try out the Nightborn as well. So we've got to clear some invasion points. This is the boring part. Because soloing this can be a little frustrating sometimes. Probably because I'm not max level. I'm only 115 on this character, so... This is just my rep mule because it's not got much else. Reminds me, I need to send the gold of this character over to another character. Because I've got like 12k gold on here, which isn't much, but... On a character that's doing nothing, it is. I could use it to buy better heirlooms, actually. I could actually upgrade my heirlooms.
Reeling from your onslaught. Cut them down.
You made a terrible mistake coming here.
I've got mail. Oh crap! It's Postmaster. It'll be something like when my inventory was full. It'll just be trash. It'll be trash in my mail. I know it will be. But I'll deal with it. When I go back to the Vindicar. When we go back to the disco ship, we'll deal with it. Ah, we got a few I think we got a monk, we got a death knight. Ah, it's much better when you're running this with randoms. It's like so much easier. Like, than doing this by myself, I'd have been here for like 15-20 minutes probably. Ah, there's no... Is that a monk? Yeah, it's a monk. Legion? Hello? Oh. The Legion aren't very attentive right now, are they? They're like, oh yeah, disrupt the Legion. No, we need to spawn more though, because we're all dead. When we get back to the disco ship, as I say, we'll be checking a bunch of that. But I want to clear the invasion points because then when this all resets, it'll be in time for the evening stream, and we might be able to push Exalted. Vogratha the Defiled.
Now's your chance. Finish this fight.
What is this?
Well done, champion.
Ah, that'd make a nice Draenei Death Knight transmog.
Spread throughout the dark beyond.
And we got a nothing. Get you to try for 14 at some point, I think. Yeah, man, probably. Probably something to look at. I've got a lot of stuff I want to do in this right now, but yeah, I'm definitely up to check out new games. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff on my itinerary of WoW shit I want to get done, but that's fine. Astral Glory. I'd probably have to buy that from the auction house if I can. Just checking something real quick. No, that one doesn't reward it. I've got a guide on what quests do and don't reward Army of the Light Rep. This one doesn't. Even though it's an elite quest in this area, that theoretically doesn't. But we want to get that invasion point. Yeah, wait, hang on. Is that really irritating one, though? Hang on. That's Nigtal, so... You're going to have to go to Nigtal, aren't we? I hate Nigtal. All them rep grinds. All them rep grinds. Give me my light forged. I just want to be a big, sparkly light boy. Just give me my beefy light boy paladin. Jesus. Here, look, a beefy light boy. Disaster.
This world holds a power that the Legion must not possess. Prevent them from claiming it.
This is the one I didn't want to do because last time I had a problem with the Infernals. It's not so much... For me, this is just because it's time consuming. I need more bone shield. Ah, we got 10 stacks. I mean, it's not like I'm dying, it's just... It just takes a long time, because I'm not max level. I haven't got any good gear, and I'm not max level on this character. Okay, that's fine. I haven't even played Blood Death Knight in such a long time. I mean, this is really fun. Maybe I should go back to playing a Death Knight at some point. I have a 120, but he's unholy. And he's geared for unholy. However, I suppose there's nothing to stop me making a Blood Death Knight. Especially if I get Zandalari or something. This should be enough to complete phase 1. I just need to finish this because my time is going to be nearly up on the this stream.
Them back. Now press the attack.
Come on. I know these aren't my objective, but they're just going to annoy the hell out of me if I don't kill them. I feel like I'm hitting these fuckers with toothpicks. What the hell? Spam, 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 spam. Annoying me that there's so many enemies that come at you. Yeah, I will have to end the stream very shortly anyway, but This is infuriating. Fight me in real life, Briss, see what happens. It's the Infernals I've got to kill, but this is annoying. Why you gotta be like this, man? Ah, the Infernals aren't the hard ones to kill, I guess. It's just... What I'm learning here is that when I'm killing is not the problem. It's the infernal. It's not the Infernals. It's the other stuff. It's the other mobs that come with it. You can fall asleep with a Blood DK and not have too much trouble. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why I'm doing this on a Blood DK. Because it's going to be... I mean, this is what I mean. Look, I don't need that much rep. I need like 9,000 rep. Now, that means that when these quests reset later on today, I should have enough time... I should be able to push Exalted maybe today or tomorrow. With the buff. I mean, we've come from here to here today doing those quests. Okay, from like 3 bars in to up here, so we're good. It's not hard rep to grind, it's just irritating. I keep checking my friends list because there's somebody who I need to message when they get online and I keep forgetting if they're online or not because I'm a dumbass. You.
Your judge, jury, and executioner.
That's a lot of talk for somebody who I've literally just massacred nearly everybody else that you're friends with. Blood DK is a really, really good tank spec. It's a solid tank spec. Defeat the Legion Commander. Oh, Prot Warrior. Yeah, I have a Prot Warrior. I do have Prot Warrior, but it's just as I say, the reason I'm not using my Prot Warrior to grind this, which is 120, is that I just don't have the rep. my highest rep with Army of the Light is on this Death Knight because this is what I played in Legion. Otherwise, I'd be spamming this with my prop warrior. But I want to make a prop paladin because that's what I started this game tanking and what I cutting edge raided with. And I have a lot of good memories with the prop paladin. I just want to play it as a light forge just because it'd be cool. Prop warrior is still good shit. When were they last online? 5 days. Okay, so probably because of the working from home thing. It's somebody I work with. She plays on WoW Alliance. But for me, I've always loved the way Prop Paladin plays. So I'm looking forward to being able to play that again, but I just want to play it on a Light Forged. Spinning hammers. Hammer of the righteous. Ah, screw you, man. Again, I'm not taking any damage really as a blood DK here. But it's just time consuming to do this by yourself. See, I just really enjoyed Prop Paladin. I mained it for the longest time. It's the one main I stuck with for like 4 expansions at least. I mean, dithering into Death Knight, and then I eventually a monk, but then it's like tanking. I don't enjoy anything tanking as much as I did Prop Paladin. I mean, Prop Warrior's fun. It's hella fun. It's just Prop Paladin was the one for me. It's annoying because he heals himself. Kite him away, maybe, from these things. When he casts those sleeping orbs, I'm just gonna kite him away from them because that might be why he's healing. Vampiric Cleave, get out of the way, get out of the way. Yeah, that's gonna heal him as well. This is about last. Yeah, cleave. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. He's going down.
Well done, champions. News of this victory will spread throughout the dark beyond.
Fine. Cool. So we have cleared our world quests. Cool. But there will be some respawning. I have a timer set just to work out when they're respawning because I do want to unlock these. And as they tick over, you're gonna, like, you know, let's go back to Makari. Do-do-do. Do-do. Doodly-doo, diddly-diddly-doo. Babbly-bip-bip-brr.
The Legion's fury pales before mine.
2,000 rep. That's what I mean. It's really decent.
The hour has come
Not
at
all
last.
who wander are lost.
I mean, we're revered with the Augustin Reach, but we're almost exalted.
May I be of service? Be well.
There's a mailbox around here somewhere. I bet it's above me. God, it's been so long. The music here is really nice. Augustin Reach. Augustin Reach. Yeah, I still got 2,000 build Orgonite. Okay.
I greet you. The Legion will pay.
Just a second. So it's Seat to the Triumvirate. Will Defiler's Tully has been added to my appearance. Ah. Yeah, it's just the Argusian Reach that one rewards. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to end this stream here for now. We'll be back later for some more rep grinding, hopefully getting our light forged. But thanks very much for tuning in, guys. You guys rock, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.